Can you guys hear me okay? Because I just tend to shout, and so I'm trying really hard not to shout. I actually have slightly changed what I'm going to talk about. Do I just press that button? Oh, great. Okay. So I don't like slides. I don't work with them. I'm also a lecturer for the University of Otago, and I give infinite awesome points to anybody who will give presentations in anything other than slides. So I think that's it. Is that still okay? I'm just trying to find the space. Okay, all right, I can do loud. All right, okay, loud is my favourite thing. I wrote this really cool kind of discourse around degrowth, and then I thought, well, that's a waste of time because you guys are already here knowing that stuff. So what I'm going to do is to follow on from what these guys have been talking about. If I go to my... Oh, okay. Two things that are going to be really quick here, just because this is what I start every single presentation with. Who knows what the word Māori means? Somebody yell it out. Yeah, thank you. That's so good. All right, so I don't need to talk to this group about what the word Māori means, so I'm really stoked about that. Yay. And who can tell me what a kaitiaki is? Originally.
It's a being other than a human that would take care of the environment that we live in.
Fantastic. We can tick that one off too. Thank you very much. That's so good. We're really good at we are the kaitiaki. Actually, we are not the kaitiaki. We killed the kaitiaki and took that away, and so now we've got to take on the job. So it's actually a shameful thing that we have to have become that. Kia ora. Okay, we live in weird times. Very, very weird times, and it's sad. And it is not a side effect of being awesome to be in weird times. We are tinkering at the edges of change, and that is not enough. To effect real change, we have to have system change. And I actually am unconvinced that we're capable of that. Do you think that we're capable of it, Mike? No. Okay. Jack, do you think we're capable? No? Great. I've got a 13-year-old called Jack. Jacks are awesome, some of my favourite creatures. And my 13-year-old writes a monthly column for the Whakatane Beacon about waste management. And that's his activism. And he's just written this article about battery recycling, and he informed me that as a country here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, we are recycling around 0.2% of our batteries. And the rest of it, we are sending to landfill. Has anyone got an updated statistic on that? No. So we live with the shame of 0.2% of batteries recycled and the rest going into the toxic soup that is our landfill, and that is absolutely shameful. So what I want to do today is give you an opportunity to leave here having made a commitment to something that you have the power to change. And I made how is the water? Okay, we might come back to that. We haven't got time for that korero. Hang on. No, that's that. Right, that is a QR code that's going to take you to a Padlet. And I think that not everybody in the room will have a device capable of connecting to that, but I think this is a really cool group activity. So if you don't have a device, can you please look around the room and see someone that does and pair up with them? And can we go to the... Okay, so when you get to the Padlet, you will see a box. And that's my one. I just made a simple one. So I'm doing this little project at the moment around seedlings where Jack's raising money for a school trip and he's selling seedlings. And for every seedlings he's selling, I am taking one to our local community garden with instructions on how to sell it and actually how to then propagate your own seedlings and being part of that solution of food security. Yes. Oh, yep. I don't know how to do that. Oh, maybe this button. Oh, I'm feeling very technological. Usually Jack is with me. He comes to all my things and he manages the technology side for me. So, all right. Is that actually taking you to my Padlet? Winning. I did that by myself. Okay, so the point of the exercise today is that you are going to leave with a commitment to a thing that you can do that will make some step towards adapting to our climate future. You are not going to fix it. You potentially could slow some change down, but I think that we're in that space now. We have to think about adapting. And as was pointed out by one of the speakers earlier, we come to these things and we get all fired up and then we walk out the door and that's the end. But I don't want you to do that today. I actually want you to make a commitment to some sort of change. And I've got change happening constantly in my life. I'm always looking at how I can improve things. But so today's mission is this. Oh, shall I go to the next one again? Okay, cool. This is the mission. This is the mission. Your name. What is the one thing that you can do? Why do you want to do it? How are you going to do it? What will the impact be and how will that be measured? The hope for me is that over the course of the next 12 months, you will update that. That Padlet will stay alive. You can go in, you can update it. You can get your kids or your neighbour or your boss or your workers or however to actually do the same. Make a commitment. When this conference happens again, whether it's next year's or the year after, you come back and address that. How did it go? What was the impact? What can I now do? So, pair up, buddy up. I'm going to walk around the room. How long have we got?
We have until 12:15.
It is... Okay, so we've got just 40 minutes, basically. So once you've got some up, we'll bring it up on the screen. Can we do that, tech people? Amazing wizards of technical awesomeness.
Do you want the QR code on the screen?
Yeah? Can we do that? Or can we actually make the link on the screen? Oh, sweet. Okay. All right, so get to work. I'm going to walk around and talk. You guys feel free to walk around and talk to people about the sort of things that they can do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite anybody who would like to come up and talk about their commitment. If there is something that you would like to share that you've put up there on the Padlet, I would really love to hear it. Who is going to do PhD? Somebody put up there, I just saw that. Oh, that's so good. I congratulate you. I just graduated with mine yesterday. Finished it 2 years ago, just before COVID, and they cancelled my graduation twice, and I decided I wasn't going to do it, but then I just did it, and I'm really thankful that I did. But for me, the future is in making sure that we're enabling as many opportunities for education as we can for our tamariki and rangatahi. They are cynical, and they are anxious, and they are annoyed with us, and they've got very good reason for all of that. And the work that I'm doing in my work for GNS and our Changing Coast is using education as a way to help sort out this climate anxiety that our young people have. And we do that by having extremely honest, real conversations with our kids about what's actually going to happen. What do we know? How do we know it? Because that's the important thing. How do we actually know? So real information, providing resources that they can turn to get continued real information, and then enabling them with some agency on what they can do. Because they're not going to solve climate change, but what they can do is create safety in their own lives, and that's what that's all about. So that's my real, if there's one thing that I want to say to you, is just make sure that all the young people in your life, you're providing them with as many educational opportunities as possible. Now, is there anyone who'd like to share what they put on Padlet? Yep. Or anyone want to talk to what they've put up there?
It's not up there, but we discussed creating a narrative, if you like, for the middle class, not necessarily a group of people like us. Not necessarily for a group of people like us, or even the hard right-wing typical narrative successful today, but creating a narrative for the community that we might be part of, a smaller community that provides a different sort of vision of support and structure, and something that they might look forward to. Could you add to that?
I don't know as much to add. It's just people, if you're going to have influence, if you're going to have actual change, if you're going to overcome the problem that we can't change the system, you have to figure out how to change the system.
Yep.
If you want to change the system, you have to change ordinary people who lead governments and businesses.
That's
in
right.
order to do that, you have to have some sort of narrative and some kind of outreach.
Yep.
So you kind of need a strategy, really.
One of the things I've learned in all my years of teaching is that unless you have got something for the learning to stick to, it doesn't stick. So when our kids are going to school, if they haven't got some sort of basic, vague vision of what their future looks like, there's nothing for that learning to stick to. And that is the same with us as well. If we actually are really serious about creating that systemic change that we know that we need, we have to have a vision of what that's going to look like, so that people have got something to buy into, so that the learning that's required to make that actually work has got something to stick to. So you guys are absolutely on the right track. I applaud you. Well done. Thank you. Okay. We've got 6 minutes. Who else would like to share? I saw your hand, sir. Just wait for a mic.
Kia ora, my name's Tim Jones, and
Kia ora, Tim.
from my point of view, I've come along as an individual, but I just wanted to say from the perspective of somebody who's in Living Streets Aotearoa, the National Walking Organisation, so good to see so many people who'd like to use their car less. So if you folks are keen to see more walking and more cycling, please get on board with the walking groups, your cycling groups. Push for better walking and cycling and safer walking and cycling, because that's what's needed to get more people doing it. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. Tim, do you know if there's a resource available that has got like a central place with different groups so that people can connect in and see if there's something local to them?
Short version, there are different ones. That's the problem. There's like, I don't know. I feel like throwing over to. Do you have an answer to that one, Patrick? Certainly, if you're interested in walking, go to livingstreetsaotearoa.org.nz.
Can you put that up on the Padlet? Just. Oh, can someone? Thank you very much. And then, and feel free to add to that too. Yes.
Just wish to follow on education, what sticks, and I hope artists, writers and musicians feel challenged to bring the story out in a way that is a messenger that we can hear.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to come to the lady up the top in the green, and while the mic's coming up, I just want to share someone at an event I was at yesterday, at my graduation event, was talking about Nobel Prize winners. In the science community, you were something like 20% more likely to win a Nobel Prize if you also had an active interest in music, art, the performing, all of that kind of thing, because it just changes your whole approach to life. And it makes what you know more accessible when you can present it in a way that everybody can engage with it somehow. So, yeah, I took all that. Well done. Thank you. Okay, lady in the green jersey up the top.
Oh, kia ora. I'm Annalise, and I'm here with Tapatahi, but I would just like to speak to you saying before, is there any page that you can go to see all of the organisations? The project that we've put up, there's a couple of us here, we want to build a network of all of the resilience type transition projects and have a populated map where people can go to a town and see what they can get involved with, whether it's a repair cafe, a community garden, energy, micro-generation type projects, or a men's shed building an electric car, or anything right across the whole spectrum of projects, as a kind of a mutual aid network where people can share blueprints and models and best practice and ideas and all support each other, so we can have like a National Repair Cafe Day and all share everything. So if anyone wants to talk about that, hit me up.
Can you... it would be real neat if you could add some sort of contact information to the Padlet so that people can connect into that. Oh. Yep. Oh, I love that. Wicked.
Excellent, thanks.
Could you add that onto the Padlet, please, so that people can connect into if they want to? Right, we have got time for one very quick speaker. Yes.
Thanks.
And I'd like to thank our young runner. Thank you. Okay.
Joanna Santa Barbara from Mawera. We're working on a project in Nelson, Tasman called Take the Jump, and I regard it as degrowth by stealth. It has seven components, starting with Travel Fresh, which is like anything but single occupancy ICE vehicles. Goes on to Eat Green, plant-based diet, Dress Retro, buy no more than 3 new things a year, End Clutter, keep your appliances for much longer than you already do, aviation, sets limits to how much aviation you use, and system change. And it uses social marketing research to make this highly palatable for all sorts of people, including people who've done nothing so far, and also tries to cluster people so that they support each other. So this is a project that I'm working on, and one that I recommend for all regions and all activists. Thank you.
That's so cool. Would you be able to? Oh, yeah. Would you be able to add a link to that on the Padlet? Okay, we'll be able to get some help. Okay, that's our time. I know this isn't what I was going to talk about, but I think that what we've just done is just when you leave here with a plan and some agency and the ability to come up with something that you can do that creates something positive for the future. And hopefully you'll draw some inspiration from the other ideas that others have too. This will never die. I'll just leave that up there for ad infinitum. And you can check back in, add stuff to it, and then hopefully this will be able to be readjusted at the next conference. Kia ora.